Hello, everyone. It's Dr. Bonsenso here, and we are continuing our series of non pharmacological support to children and young people with long COVID. In previous videos, we gave a general overview of why non pharmacological support is necessary. And in the latest video, I focused on the very important role of family support. Today, I will talk about another key element in supporting children and young people with long COVID, which is school, teachers, and all the school environment. Before we move to this episode, please remember that it's important your support for us to continue this type of activity, our long COVID clinics, communications, awareness. So please subscribe to our Substack and YouTube channels, like, share our posts, leave your comments and your questions. Even a free subscription is important for us because if fewer long COVID patients are alone and abandoned by the system, the same is happening for us as doctors. So we really need more to engage more and more the community at every level, from the public to policymakers. So why school is important in supporting a child with long COVID? It's important in two key elements: recognition, so diagnosis of long COVID, and daily support of the long journey of recovery a patient with long COVID can deal with. In terms of recognition, I think teachers can make a difference because, as some of you know, long COVID symptoms may be subtle. Even doctors sometimes question the disease is even real. And teachers, let's tell us the truth, know our children very well, sometimes even better than parents. They spend a lot of time with our children. They know and see them in out of the family setting, so without filters sometimes. And many times teachers know our children since years, so they know, for example, if we are dealing with a child who was perfectly healthy child, happy, fine from a mental health perspective, was attending school regularly with good scores, not skipping examinations. And sometimes, if teachers are aware about what COVID and long COVID is, they can notice unusual problems following a return from a viral illness or COVID as well. They can notice unusual brain fatigue, unusual concentration problems, unusual changes in the way the child communicate or respond after interrogations, unusual fatigue, unusual headaches, unusual absences. So really, teachers can play a role and to discuss with parents, saying, what is happening to your child? It was so fine, so okay before. It was going very well to school. What is happening now? He's got this viral illness, and since his return is weeks, he's not behaving normally for him or her background. So really, teachers can play a role in recognition. But in my opinion, they can play an even more important role in supporting a child with long COVID. So usually, as I work as a pediatrician, not only as a long COVID doctor, when we have a child with a severe pathology like a chronic autoimmune disorder or cancer who needs long-term admissions or a long journey of recovery, we usually see teachers and classmates working together to provide a strong mental health support to these children. Like, they come to our hospital wards to meet their friends. They go home to spend free time with them when sometimes they cannot go to school anymore for a while for any problems. This never happens, or almost never happens, with children with long COVID, because these children are thought to have a mental health problem, to be depressed, to be bored, and they remain isolated at home because they are not considered as having a serious chronic illness as any other disease. And this is a big problem because children with long COVID suffer usually from severe malaise, severe fatigue, severe post-exertional malaise, concentration issues, and all the other symptoms we know. And they are unable to go to school. So they tend to spend more and more time at school, and they risk to miss social life, their friends, and remaining alone at home can further worsen their mental and physical health, therefore starting a vicious circle from which it's maybe very difficult to get out. So it's important that teachers are aware about what is long COVID, and they can create awareness among other schoolmates and their parents in order to provide home support to children who are not able to go anymore to school because of long COVID. But not only. Sometimes I have children who are missing school also because they don't feel smart enough as they were before in learning things, and so they are scared about examinations. One of the classic scenario I've had is that super smart children who were those, the best, having the best scores at school, who were also helping other friends during examinations, with secret suggestions and stuff like that. They were struggling after COVID and long COVID, so they were kind of being accused by other their schoolmates that they were not suggesting anymore during examinations or interrogations. So this kind of made them ashamed about going to school as well. Or simply they were shy to show up during examinations and interrogations because they didn't feel smart as they were before. And therefore, in this regard, schools and teachers can play a very important role in planning in long advance interrogations and examinations for children with long COVID, so they can have longer time to prepare. They can go to school without being scared of received questions or interrogations when they don't feel ready to do that. This is another key element that teachers can implement to support patients with long COVID to go to school. But also, it's very important that teachers and school support children with an adapted school schedule. Adapted means a possibility of doing some home classes, online lessons, but also adapted and flexible time schedules. Children sometimes may suffer fatigue when they have to wake up, so they may need to enter school later than the classic time, or they can have a crash of post-exertional malaise while attending schools, or severe headache, so they may need to leave school earlier during the day. So this having such flexibility is very much important to support the child, because otherwise the child will start slowly but gradually to abandon school completely. He will remain, or she will remain, isolated at home, will miss friends and other activities, and this will make all the recovery and all our work much, much complex. So I think this is another important role of schools and teachers. Of course, having tools like a wheelchair can help patients to go to school, because or simply working to go to school, or to go back from school, or around the classes can trigger post-exertional malaise. Another key element can be implementing air filters or air quality within classes, because we know that children with long COVID have a higher risk of worsening their chronic symptoms after new viral infections. So trying to limit the risk of viral infections while attending school is another important role. So as using air filters and also considering masking during, at least during winter, can play an important role. And this may be something to be discussed, because sometimes children are also missing schools because they are scared to get new viral infections which can worsen their symptoms. So recognition, support with flexible time schedules, with planned interrogations and examinations, trying to reduce the risk of new viral infections, awareness among schoolmates and parents, aiming to support the child while staying at home. Children, friends can go at home to the home of these children with long COVID, studying together. Don't abandon children with long COVID at home because you think they are crazy or depressed. No, they have a real chronic illness as every other child with any other chronic disease. And I think it is extremely important. Sometimes I've talked with several schools because I provide this kind of certificates in a written matter and I send them to teachers and the schools. Sometimes schools are flexible and collaborative and supportive. Sometimes they are not because they are not aware of this condition. So please share this video even with teachers. I've provided even more details in my blog or my book, which is available in several languages. Feel free to share it with your teachers. Create awareness. Remember, awareness is important for the whole community of people involved in long COVID. You as a parent, you as a patient, but also us as doctors. We need it. So if you have any questions, feel free to add any suggestions or anything I may have missed, because these videos are not kind of planned. I just talk, and we will see. I will be happy to reply to your questions and add any other details. Bye bye.